I'm revisiting the 12 deck hashtag, but this time with your prompts. Am I excited? Well, that's a bit of an understatement. Let's get to it. Hello, welcome back to the space. My name is Angel. Hello, hello, hello. So, as mentioned in the intro, we are revisiting the 12 deck tag, but this time with your prompts, with the prompts that were added by you lovely peeps when you were doing your VRs. So I haven't actually counted how many prompts I've got, but I've definitely got 12 decks because, you know, FYI, the rules are the random rules, but the one rule was that we had to show 12 decks. So we're starting with Tamipie's prompts. 3 prompts. Ooh, I think there's 3 prompts. Let's get started. I'm going to link all the creators that added prompts in the description box. Let's get to it. So my bad, Tammy had 4 prompts. I'm showing 1 deck for each of Tammy's prompts. Her first prompt was a deck that you have not yet shown on your channel. Oh, very interesting. Oh, this was tough because I've been a naughty girl this month and I've purchased quite a few new decks, which I'm going to go into in my September favourites, so keep your eye out for that one. This is one of the decks I've purchased, which is I Am Queen Oracle by, I want to say, Oti Harmer. I'm really sorry if that's incorrect. Can I just show the box here? Look at this. This is gorgeous. Here's the back if you'd like to read it. I only got this a couple of days ago, so I can't tell you so much about it yet. This is by Rockpool, 36 cards. Let's pop that there, and let's show you the, can I just show you the gilding? May I be so bold as to show you the gilding? Look at this. Let me see if I can get this so you can see it. It's gorgeous. These are the bags. And I fell in love with the artwork. Can't think where I saw it. I think I might have seen it on Instagram initially, and then I saw it on Sally's channel once I'd already ordered the decks. I was waiting on receiving it home to me, and I saw it on their channel. I'm going to link Sally's channel in the description box so you can go and see their video if you want to, and what they paired it with. And I just fell in love with the art style, and maybe not obviously if you haven't been following me, but if you haven't seen my latest video, my September Decks Intentions, I mentioned there that I was working with this Queen phase and with Persephone, looking into working with Persephone's energy and the mythology. So I kind of, this one started nudging me to, to bring it in for that practice. I'm thinking of pairing it with the Goddess of Love Tarot, which I also use for my Queen phase practice. May I show you that? May I be so bold as to pair it? No, I should be really. We shouldn't be playing with pairs, but you know how that goes. So this is the Goddess of Love Tarot. This is the mass market deck. This is the deck I use for, as mentioned, the Queen phase work that I've been doing. These are the backs. And I just think these two are going to pair really, really nicely. Now, let me just pull this into shot a little bit better for you so you can see, fingers crossed. And let's have a bit of a flick. So we've got Queen of I Am Enough with the Enchantress, which is the Magician. And I'm just going to say, I really like this. There's like doors in the throats of these queens, like, opening the door to the communication, to saying our truth. I love that. Queen of Feminine Power with Death. Ooh, I love this. Queen of Self-Discovery with the 3 of Pentacles. This Pomegranate. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Queen of Letting Life Move Through with the Devil. I like that a lot. I really like that a lot. We're going to say 2 more. Here we go. We've got this door going on again. Although this one's in that, almost feels like the heart chakra almost. I haven't read the guidebook, so I can't tell if there's any relevance or association with that. So we've got Queen of Trying to Keep It Together with the 2 of Pentacles. I like that. Queen of Keeping It Together with the 2 of Pentacles. I like that balance, that, prioritising. Last one, we're going to go with Queen of Gratitude with the Lust. Sorry. Ooh. Oh, I love, 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 love. Okay, so yes, so this is the deck that I haven't shown you. This is a deck you've seen before, but, I just fancied pairing it. So let's move on. Prompt number 2 from Tamipie was a deck whose later editions are different. Now, I think I could have shown Marielle here, although I don't have the first edition. I could have shown Stunning Tarot, but I decided to show another new deck in my collection. I managed to get this one secondhand this month for, it was quite expensive, but I really wanted it. This is again to bring in for my Persephone practice. This is the Yonasa Yaus edition, 8th edition. I've said that correctly. Apologies if I said the name incorrectly. These are the bags. Now, I had the option. I purchased this one secondhand on eBay, and the seller had both the 7th and the 8th editions, and it was really tough deciding which edition to purchase. But I ended up with the 8th edition because there are more reds in the cards. Although I'm saying that, and now there's just like this like limey green and purple. But here you'll see the reds coming through, and that really spoke to me. And this like maroon colour, this colour is really speaking to me this season. Oh, well, I say this season, it's been speaking to me for the last year or something, actually, to be quite frank. I'm lying to myself. Yes. So I'm going to say that I've been tentatively dipping my foot into working with Persephone. I'm not going to say any more about that apart from that in this video. And I might go a bit more into it in my September favourites. So as mentioned, keep your eyes out for that. These colours are really speaking my speak. They are singing to me. Oh, loving it. I've been pairing this one with the Queen Mab Oracle and even the I think it's called the Faceted Garden Oracle. It's working so well, so enjoying it. So yeah, love, love, love. Yummy scrummy. The next prompt from Tamipie was 3 decks you studied by, a deck you studied by watching television. This was such an interesting prompt, and I was a bit stumped actually, to be quite honest. Tamipie showed 3 decks. I'm only going to be showing one, which is actually quite handy because I think I've only got one to fit this prompt. Let's get into it. So it's the Wizard of Oz Tarot, of course it is. I spent many an hour watching Wizard of Oz as a child, which totally helped me to, or with reading this deck. This is a deck that's in my rotation currently. I'm working with this one with my Dark Passenger Inner Child facets. I've edged mine in all different colours, all different greens, should I say, to pick up the facets of Emerald City. I love this deck. I didn't expect it to be such a good reader as it is, and I think it's a really good reader because I know intricately. Can I say that? I know the film so intricately because I've watched it so many times. Although saying that, I do know the part where she, turns up in Oz. I would say actually a little bit better than I do when she's in Kansas, because I used to fast forward that as a child because I used to find that quite slow. So I kind of tried to, whiz my way through the VHS, through the video, to where she opens the door, after she's gotten to the Land of Oz. But I still reckon that I, knowing the film as well as I do, has really helped me tap into this deck and the messages. I still really want to do a deep dive with this deck. I still really want to read the book. I've only read the child's book of Wizard of Oz. I've gotten a thick version of the Wizard of Oz, which I really want to get into. But that's not going to happen this year. And is it going to happen next? I hope it will. But, who knows? What can I say? I go where I'm led in my practice. I go where the red breadcrumbs lead me. I go where the red threads lead me. And that will happen when it happens. Oh, we'll get a stuff on that one because that's a great card. Yes, so the final prompt from Tamipie was a deck you paid a premium on. So a deck that was expensive, but you didn't care. You wanted it anyway, no matter what. Let's get into it. Now, I could have chosen the Cave of Sybil Oracle easily for this prompt. I could have even chosen the Ritual Tarot, most definitely. The Gentle Tarot was also a runner, but I'm gonna stick to this whole, showing you the new deck, showing you the new decks, and this is the deck that I finally decided on, the Terra Volatile. This was a newbie in this month. This is a very early, very early Christmas birthday present to myself. This is the back if you'd like to read it. This is a no, it's not a mass market. It's a indie deck. I've got no excuse. I wanted it. I didn't care what it was going to cost me to get it to get it home. I wanted it. These are the backs. It's not edged, but it's in beautiful, beautiful cardstock. Now, I'm thinking this is going to be an excellent deck for autumn. We've got several different cards for several different options for several different cards in the deck. This is amazing. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else, but I can't remember. Oh, and so far I haven't made any choices on the cards that I want to use. So all the extra cards are still in the deck. So for instance, we've got the Empress here and we've got the Empress here. Let me do that so you can see. The cardstock is absolutely delicious. It's very lush. It's like, I want to say this is linen. It's got this texture to it. Oh, it's very nice, and it's very bendy and flexible, and it's very tasty. I like it a lot. We've got the Pope. I'm not going to show you the whole deck, and I'm sure you've actually seen this this deck. I'm not going to show you the Lovers because there's a bit of boob in it, and you know how YouTube feels about boob right at the minute, because YouTube is a bit of a boob itself. I say that. I'm sorry, YouTube. I didn't mean that. Please don't block me. Please don't cancel my channel because I like connecting with people here. I think we're going to stop there. Yes, so I think there are 80 cards. No, there's more than 80 cards, isn't there? There is a new suit which is called the Vessels, and there are extra cards for quite a few, extra options for quite a few of the cards. Shall I show you the Vessels suit? Now, I did buy the book as well. Did I mention that? Sorry, bear with me. Let me just see if I can find the Vessels. Here are the Vessels. Did I mention that? I did purchase the book to go with it, but I haven't looked at that either. Let me do this, and this, and this, and this. So there is a new Vessel suit, which is this one. So we've got the Ace, the 2, the 3, the 4. This is a bit gruesome, but I'm going to show it anyway. I'm going to go for broke on the tube. So this is definitely going to be a study deck, and I'm thinking, for the autumn and the winter, this is going to be a great deck. I think. Oh, it's all this like juicy information. All that's, I can just absorb it all and just enjoy studying it. Yeah, that's my plan. So this is the deck that no matter what it cost, I wanted to get it to me. But as mentioned, there were a couple of others that were definitely in the running for this prompt. So moving on to the next prompt and the next creator. Sharon at Trio of Witches, they added 2 prompts to their VR. I'm going to also link Sharon's video in the description box. Go and take a look, show some YouTube love, like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. The first prompt was a deck I want to take on vacay, holiday, vacation. I had a staycation, so I had access to all my decks, which was perfect. It was a bit of a tough prompt, I think, because it would depend what kind of holiday I was going on. If I was going to see my family in England, I would take the Tower of Mystical Moments, because that's my the deck that I use for my ancestors, and I feel that's very supportive, and that's the kind of deck I would need should I be going to England to see my family. If I was maybe going on like a summer, like a beach holiday, or like a leisurely holiday, a bit of an adventure, then I think I might take the Adventure Tarot. However, if I was going, and I wanted to kind of be a bit spontaneous and just grab, fly by the seat of my pants, then I think I would take the Pasta Tarot, because this is what this deck embodies for me. It embodies this Knight of Wands energy, this like go rogue, just do it, this action packed fly by the seat of your pants energy. It really does. And I think the colouring is amazing in this deck. It's just got this fiery, spicy feel to it. And it is quite a spicy deck. I think it's a bit of a cheeky deck. That's the kind of readings that I've received from this deck. So for that reason, I would take this one on holiday. However, saying that, this is the kind of deck I would take on holiday if I wanted to be, you know, spontaneous and adventurous, and you know, what's the word? Being a bit rebellious and a bit of a risk taker. But if I really wanted like a stable, what's the word? A stable, trusted reader, then I actually think I would take the Light Seers Tarot. That might be a bit of a surprise, merely for the fact that it is, it's a staple, I'm going to say, because I've used that deck so much and I understand it so well, and also for the fact that it's very, very easily, what's the word? It's easily, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, it's, if it gets damaged, I can easily, what's the word I'm looking for? My mind's gone blank. Oh, brain fog. I can't think of the word. Honestly, my English today is terrible. I'm going to put the name on the screen. Oh, the word on the screen. I can't think. It's easily replaceable. Replaceable is the word I'm looking for. Oh my Gordon Bennett. Let's stop there. But otherwise, I think it'll be the Pasta Tarot. I love this cardstock. It's like, this is a mass market deck, but it's like, it's got this texture to it. I really like it. These are the backs. Did I show you the backs? I think I did. And it hasn't really got a guidebook. It's got a bit of a, well, wait, I'm lying to you. It has got a guidebook, but it's quite a basic guidebook. And these suits are renamed. But, you know, that's never been a problem for me. This is the back. This is the box, by the way. Did I show you the box? I don't know, but it's gorgeous. It's a spicy meatball. We're moving on. So the final prompt from Sharon was a deck that you have both the indie and the mass market versions of. Embarrassing to say that I had a bit of a shuffle around last week, and I've recategorised my decks from, you know, cosmic, earthy, contemporary, that in those kind of categories, to colour ways instead. So I've gone for more like of cool colours and jewel colours, and, you know, and now I can't find anything, so I don't know which basket the indie version of this deck has gotten to, so I can only show the mass market, unfortunately. But trust me when I tell you, I do have the indie version. This is, that was a long intro. This is the Rainbow Moon Tarot. I've spoken about this one so many times, although I don't show it so often, merely because it sits by my bed. I got the mass market version first. It's got some beautiful holographic gilding, if I do say so myself, which is not sharp. And then I saw on eBay a second-hand pre-loved copy of the indie version of this, which is called the Marble Moon Tarot, which I purchased, and that cardstock is quite, it's quite rose petally. So I haven't actually used that version. I used this version, which as mentioned is by my bed, and I use this in the evenings, you know, to kind of round off my days. So yeah, I haven't actually used yet the mass market version. Although, you know, I would obviously really like to. And at the minute, I couldn't even tell you which basket that this deck has found its way to, which I would imagine would be like the, no, I can't even guess. I'm not even going to hazard a guess. I don't know. But let me just tell you, this is definitely a soul deck. Oh my goodness me. Can you hear that boy? He's been quiet all this time, all afternoon. And the moment I press record on this video, he starts his chatter. He is such a cheeky, squeaky monkey. This is the only deck that I have both the indie and the mass market versions of, I believe. And I don't have any plans to purchase any double copies of any other decks in my collection. Let's move on to the next creator and the next prompts. So the next video I watched was from Erin at The Witch of Saturn, and they decided to throw all the prompts out the window completely, which was fantastic. They totally, you know, matched the criteria of the tag. The rules are there ain't no rules, just to show 12 decks, and they showed 12 decks which were paired with bags, and their bags were absolutely stunning. So decks paired with bags. I don't tend to have my decks paired with bags. I have a couple. I could have shown you, for instance, the Thoth deck that has its own bag because I wanted to kind of make it more obtainable to me and make it the Thoth deck feel a little bit softer by putting it in a bag. I don't know, it made sense to me at the time. I've got my Tarot Z in a bag. I don't know why, it just made sense. This one was also in a bag, and the reason this one is in a bag is because the box was so silly. It was complete nincompoopery, in my humble opinion. Do you know what this deck is by the bag? I don't think you're going to guess it. I don't think you're going to guess it. This was a Kickstarter I backed. You're going to recognise the deck the minute I pull it out. Ooh, and this is the Unfolding Path Tarot. This is the Kickstarter version, the indie version. And the box, it had like this, I didn't like it had like, what's the word, a foam inner in the box. And the cards kind of got jammed in the foam and it really annoyed me. So I purchased the this bag second hand. I think it's actually a makeup bag, to be honest. I purchased it second hand, and since then, since actually receiving the deck, I've had it in this, and it works. It works fantastically well. With the indie version, we got this kind of fold out for the cards, and I would be interested actually to know what the guidebook is like in the mass market version. However, I'm going to say that I haven't used this for the longest time. I reckon I got this deck, oh my goodness me, that boy. I reckon I got this deck about maybe like 2.5 years ago. Maybe it's 3 years ago, I don't know. Obviously on Kickstarter as mentioned. And I used it a lot when I first got it. And then since then, I haven't used it. And this last year, I've been really drawn to my darker decks. So these colourful ones haven't really been having much of a turn on my desk. Which is a bit of a reason as well, is that why I've recategorised my decks and put them into like colourways. So I've put them into cooler colours, jewel colours, vibrant colours, yeah. So I did that, I think I did that last week. Sorry, just bear with me. I'm just going to, have a conversation with my kitty boy. Okay, we've got my boy on my he's laying on my lap, so fingers crossed this will keep him a bit quiet for a wee moment, won't it, you cheeky boy? He's eating as well, so I don't even know what his problem is. He just wants the attention. He can't stand me giving attention to something else. Now I've got lots of cat hair everywhere. Can you see it floating around? Back to the plot. I can't think what I was talking about, which is probably a good thing. But let me just tell you that this hasn't been used in quite a while. But it's going nowhere. Do you have this deck? If you have the mass market, sorry, I'm just going to remove that hair. If you have the mass market deck, I would really like to know what the guidebook is like. Could you please let me know in the comment section? I would be really, really interested because I would like to get my hands on the guidebook as mentioned. However, there is no rush, obviously, for me at the minute because I'm not really using the deck. But I think the artwork is absolutely beautiful. I really appreciate the depictions. Yeah, and I love the white space as well. I just really like it. So I think it's just because the darker decks have been, winning out for me. But it's going nowhere. And I'm going to say this is like, I definitely would say this and the Stunning Tarot, which I mentioned before in another video, are my number one shuffles. I love this cardstock. I don't know what it is, but I love it. It's like, it's a little bit, it's matte and it's not rose petal, but it's quite soft. And it's very tactile and it shuffles beautifully. I love it. I love this temper actually. He's very, very nice. A bit of eye candy, we like that. Let's move on to the next prompt. So the next prompt was from Kerry at Kerry Coffee and Cards. Their prompt was 3 pieces of my soul, a deck for mind, body and soul, or mind, body and spirit, should I say, and they chose 3 decks. I don't think I've got an allocation for 3 decks, and I started instead of thinking about mind, body and spirit as elements, as elemental symbols. So the mind as in like the air suit or the air element, the body as in the water and the earth element, and the spirit, as in the fire element, which kind of made me got me thinking about this deck, which is the Telesma Tarot. This was another second-hand pre-love find that I found on Vinted this time. Yeah, it was in great condition. These are the backs, and it started making me think about this as above, so below. And when I purchased this deck, the thought to pair this deck with the Ritual Tarot and use the decks as above, so below reading, almost, I'm going to say, or practice. Let me try and explain that a bit more. So I haven't worked with the Telesma Oracle Tarot as yet. However, when I look at this deck, it makes me feel like it's a very airy, fiery deck. I'm going to show you the images in just a second to give you an idea. This is the Ritual Tarot. They're not edged, and this deck reminds me, or it gives me this earthy, watery vibe, which kind of gives me this as above, so below. So that's my thought with this deck pairing. I do get along really, really well with the Ritual Tarot. I've done a proper study with it. Love it. It's an amazing deck, and but I just think this would be a really interesting way to use both decks. So let's put a few cards. This is very Thoth inspired, so at the minute it's currently sitting with my Thoth decks, or Thoth inspired decks. But as mentioned, it does, although I haven't used it, so I could be totally wrong, but this feels it feels like it's an air-fire combination. Yeah. I hope that makes sense. So this was kind of the pairing that I thought of when I was thinking of mind, body and spirit, because I feel it kind of it covers all of the areas, all of the elemental, all of the elements, basically. I'd be very intrigued to find out, how these two actually work together, and I'm very intrigued by this, as above, so below practice, or working that I want to use these two decks for. I think that's going to be a very interesting study, actually, to be quite honest. Now, there is a lot going on in both decks, so I don't know how that's going to work. So maybe maybe I would do better with maybe doing like a deep dive with this deck first on its own, and then integrating it into this practice. I don't know, but it would be very interesting, I think. And the images are sublime. Oh, it's just, and I love the Ritual Tarot. Absolutely adore it. I've spoken about this deck quite a lot and sung its praises, and I mentioned previously that Tira May's artwork, although I thought it was lovely, it was beautiful, I didn't feel drawn to it, and then suddenly something happened, and well, you know where that goes, and here I am with the Cave of Sybil and the Ritual Tarot, and I really want to get their new deck coming out, which I can't think what it's called, but it's on Kickstarter, and take my money yesterday, because I really want it. I'm so bad. I love this Queen of Cups. I think this is gorgeous. Last one. Yeah, we're stopping there. Okay, I think we've got one more prompt. Let's get into it. So the last prompt was Moom in Tarot, and the prompt was a deck that reminds you of your pets. That was really tough. I didn't know what to choose, because I don't have a cheeky monkey deck. I don't have a deck that's just got cheeky monkeys in it, which is what my kitty cats are. Let me pop two pictures in here of my kitty boy and my kitty girl. Yeah, my kitty boy is a total cheeky monkey. You heard him earlier, loud and proud. I ended up on this deck. So I ended up settling on the Lioness Oracle Tarot, another second-hand find. I think these are my most favourite backs, but don't quote me on that, because there are new decks coming into my collection, which they could pip these ones at the post. Gilded in matte gold, and yeah, this deck has got obviously quite a lot of cats, big cats, small cats, little cats, medium-sized cats. Here's a kitty cat. We've got some other cats too in this deck. Here we go. We've got some wild cats. This reminds me of my kitty Gill. We've got another kitty cat here. So yeah, so there are quite a few cats in quite a few of the cards. So this is the reason this one reminded me of my pets. I don't have a designated deck for my pets actually. For my well, I say they're pets. They're not pets. They're my employees, if I'm going to be quite frank. Because you know, cats have staff, so I'm their personnel. I'm their peasant. Yes, so I don't have a deck for them because, you know, I know them so well, and I don't feel I need a deck to find out what they're thinking. I kind of, you know, I kind of get their messages loud and clear. Yeah, without a tarot or oracle deck. So that's a good thing, I think. So yes, that was the answer to this prompt. I think we're done, and fingers crossed, if I can count correctly, which I'm not saying that I can, I do believe I showed 12 decks. Did I? Did you count them? Fingers crossed I did. If I didn't, oopsie, I'm really sorry. Yeah, thank you so much to everyone that joined in on the VR, or the hashtag, sorry, and did a VR. It was so much fun watching everybody's videos. Really, really was. And thank you to all the people that added or went rogue from the get-go, and, you know, met the criteria of the, you know, the rules are there ain't no rules, by, you know, just doing whatever they wanted to in their videos. It was really interesting to see which creators really kept to the prompts and which ones like totally threw them out the window and did their own thing. That was really, really interesting. I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much to everybody. And thank you for spending some time with me. We're done. I'm going to wish you a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Take care, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Toodaloo.